Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I just got back a little bit ago from the doctor, my follow-up to my knee surgery. When I went in there, there was a sign there posted that they had to update their or rechange their computers due to the federal mandate on Obamacare. So they handed me a couple forms. One was a privacy form, I filled that out, and the other form was some questions. When I saw that, I asked her point blank if I needed to fill these out. She said yes, sit down, just fill them out and then bring them back to me. I then went and sat down to read the paperwork. And after reading the paperwork, this is what it says. Government mandated questions. The following questions are required by the U.S. government. I went up there and asked her about this, and she said it was for Obamacare. I told her at that point I was not going to fill this out and I'd like to cancel my appointment for today. It was just a follow-up on my surgery. I've had this surgery 4 times, so I know exactly what's going on, so it wasn't like I needed this appointment. But there's my line. I've drawn my line. And these questions, the government knows these questions already. I mean, they have all this prior military, they have everything on me. But it was like, you know what? I have to fill these out. They're mandatory and they're required by the government to get medical services from a private company. I told them I wasn't going to fill it out and cancel my appointment. She then stopped me because I was literally turning around to walk out the door. I don't know if I was doing that to prove my point or if I'm just fed up. She said I don't have to answer them, but I just have to state that I'm not going to answer these questions. So I had to write on the top, will not answer. At this point, she called her manager over, and the manager explained it to me. It was required, Obamacare, but I can still get services if I answer and say I'm not going to fill it out. So I definitely did that. So probably that put me on a list. I asked her if I could keep this, and she said yes, which I wasn't going to give it back to her anyways. So I walked and sat down. About 3, 4, 5 minutes later, the nurse came out, called me, I went back. I was carrying this back to go into the examination room, and she saw it and she took it from me, and I told her, no, that's my copy, and she thought I hadn't filled it out yet and I was filling it out waiting for her. She said, oh, don't worry, I'll give it right back to you, let me just scan it. And I told her I wasn't going to fill it out, and she asked me if I had told them that, and I said yeah, I took care of everything up front. So basically, some general questions. Government mandated questions. The following questions are required by the U.S. government. Today's date, your name, middle, initial, last, date of birth, primary language, race, if you're Hispanic, non-Hispanic, unknown, your height, your weight, tobacco use. So really there's not a lot of questions on here that they don't have the information already. But it was the point that this private company has mandated that they change all their computers around to make sure they are ready to go with Obamacare, and that I had to answer these questions. And definitely they're going to scan this in, so I guarantee the government would have records of this, and I'm just fed up, so I'm not going to do it. Now, I got away with it today, and I got medical care I needed. What happens is, if you don't fill this out, and they just say, well, if you're not going to fill it out, we're not going to give you medical care. That could be a possibility down the road. So what are you going to do? Do you draw your line? What about doctors, dentists? Is there any good patriotic dentists, doctors, and other healthcare professionals that will give services for the people that say, no, I'm not going to do this? I don't know. My line's drawn. Am I being petty? I don't know. But don't take everything when you're told something, because this says mandatory, required. It's not. So if you get a chance and you have to fill out this, tell them no, you don't want to fill it out. Maybe if enough patriots do something, it's not going to stop their machine, but maybe it will slow their machine down a little bit or cause them a little bit of problems. Thanks for watching.